If you imagine what it might be like, an environment where memes and pop culture get fan art at scale. Now you have an understanding of what TikTok is. So let's figure out what it takes to actually make a TikTok. Hello, gentlefolk of the internet. My name is Rebekah. I am one of the hosts of the Kindness Economy podcast. This week, we're going to talk about the specific tips and tricks and how to buttons and the things and the ratios and the all that stuff. I'm going to do my best to keep us on time because I understand that this is kind of dry content for anybody that is not me or the nerds that I enjoy hanging out with who love these numbers. The first thing we're going to get into is the kind of driest stuff. I want to talk about legal stuff in a way that I am not a lawyer and I am not here to legally advise you. What I can do is help you understand what I did to make my decisions and encourage you to seek out a lawyer if you have questions. You do not seek out podcasts. When you have questions like these, you get information from us and then you have more questions that you could take to your lawyer. So let's get us started with some really interesting numbers about TikTok. First of all, it is number one at the App Store and has been for quite some time. And it's on track to continue. So let's address the children in the room. There's a lot of them. 41% of the users on TikTok are below the age of 24. And for a lot of people creating, that's important to know. Look into movie ratings. The movie rating system is the most thoroughly tested system that can tell you where the limits are for your chosen audience. If you choose to do more edgier content, more rated R content, think about how that's presented in actual media right now, like, in the real adult world where people have faced the consequences for not labeling their stuff. Every single movie, every single TV show that comes out tells you the rating system. So decide what your rating is and pay attention to how TikTok is using the controls to allow you any ability to enforce that. Because as of yet, they don't have the ability to block people below a certain age. Find a lawyer if you have more questions. For me, my content is geared to people young enough on the TikTok platform, and I choose to cut a lot of content that is just more adult. I age restrict for sexual content not just because of the number of children on the site, but also because this is a Chinese company and the Chinese standards for what's over sultry is a lot more conservative than it is in the United States. And I'm not going to pretend like I know where that line is. I've seen plenty of channels get blocked or turned off entirely because the content is, I'm sexy and we have cool music. So yes, sexy gets a lot of attention, but they don't like it on TikTok. It's not a place for that. My legal disclaimer is especially important here because now we're going to talk about some copyright stuff. And this is the stuff to my understanding, this is how it works. I don't actually know, so look it up, figure it out. It's my understanding that content on network television, once it's been broadcast, you can use that for sound bits. I'm not sure about all cable channels. Most stations, video games, outlets of media in all forms are pretty clear about what their copyright uses are. For websites, they will have use information in their website information documentation. You can look that up. A lot of companies are like, yes, please use our stuff. We understand that that's an important promotional tool. We understand that this is how social media works. Some people are still engaging in that intensely protectionist thing. And we all know right away what those industries are because we hear the warning to not copy them every time we view their shit, right? And what are they? Movies and sporting events. Every single time at the beginning of every broadcast, they let you know, no copying this. We don't like that. All right, fine. Don't f with that. Don't push that boundary. Yes, I talked about it in the last episode. It's super easy to just sort of press the limits on copyright with this app because the Chinese don't really care about copyright as much as the folks in the United States do. But it's only a matter of time before the fact that they're playing in a global sphere means that they have to start playing by the rules. For a long time on YouTube, you could use copyrighted stuff and it was easy to spoof it. The people who own those copyrights have a lot more money than you. And then get onto some video, just straight video data. Okay, aspect ratio for the TikTok videos is 1080 by 1920. Though that's it's a up and down letterbox, right? So it's a vertical plane. If you want to do your horizontal plane, I recommend using the like 3-way filter where it just sort of like cuts it into 3, and then you get your letterbox, but it instead of making the user twist sideways, you just have it be forward. And then you've also sort of accommodated for a lot of the graphics, especially along the bottom where your caption goes on the bottom and there's stuff at the top and there's stuff on the side. So using the 3-way filter, if you want to use that proper letterbox horizontal, that's the way to go. If you have more questions about the specific technicals of the video, I would love to answer those questions. Hit me up on Twitter or send an email to the KindessEcon@gmail.com address, and we will get that in the future. All right, so let's just go through quickly what it's like to scroll around and do some recording. We're gonna just do it right here, right now. You open it up, boom. So when you open it up, sometimes there's like an ad and there'll be a little button in the upper right hand corner for you to just click past the ad. Let's stop that sound. Oh God. It'll usually go right to the For You page, and right away we can start off by letting you know at the top of your screen when you open it up, right here in the center top, right below most of your cameras, you will find Following or For You. And your following page will get a little red dot when there's new stuff to let you know, go check out your friends on their page. And you're going to open up on the For You page, which is just the general, all the cool stuff is here for you page, right? You can tab over and see the people that you're following in just a feed of only the people that you're following. So those are your two options for play while you're scrolling. You watch the For You page, which is where all the cool stuff is, and then you watch the following page. Now the For You page, there's an algorithm. Obviously, it tunes itself to you over time. So you're going to get a lot of stuff, a lot of random stuff when you first get started. And then as you start liking stuff and engaging with the platform, it starts to give you more of the stuff that you have told that you enjoy, either with interactions and engagement, or just by like tracking you watching it. It knows how long you spend on the video. So you don't even really have to do anything. It knows what you look at. Also, your app is going to stay up. It doesn't really close. So save your battery and shut it down when you're done looking at it. So when you open it up, it's going to open up on the home screen. Down along the bottom, whoop, are a whole bunch of controls. Starting from the left, you have the home button. Then you have the discover page, which is like search. You have the add plus symbol in the middle. You have an inbox, which is all your notifications. And you're checking out your profile. Your me little person thing is checking your profile. Along the right-hand side, you have, for the video that you have up, you have a button at the top that shows you the profile of the creator that's produced the video that you have. You can like it. I'll like it. You can add a comment, or the little arrow is obviously for sharing. There's a variety of options for sharing. When you share it to Instagram, you're only going to get the first 15 seconds. Anything over 15 seconds, they crop that, so that doesn't get forwarded to Instagram. Now, the last button is a little interesting and a little complicated. So when you click that last button on the bottom, what you're going to see is that's the information about the sound bit that's being used for the video that we're looking at right now. You can see information about if it's an official song, You'll see the artist and the song title. You'll see the number of videos using that song. You'll have an option to, there it is, add to your favorites, and then you get this grid of all the top videos using that sound. So you can look for inspiration. You can also look for trends that are associated with specific songs. That's actually really cool about this, is it's become a platform very similar to what college radio was in the 90s, where the songs that were popular over the summer that were made specific memes was that like Old Town Road had a specific meme on TikTok, and I know this has been in the news a lot. Also, not just Old Town Road, but that Lizzo song, I just did a DNA test, turns out. That whole thing, that was also a meme on TikTok. And in fact, a lot of the songs, because I listen to terrestrial radio, a lot of the songs that are out right now on the iHeartRadio class of media radio, it's like all the songs in the fall right now are from the early summer that was on TikTok. Stuff from the spring. One of the very first songs that I used back in March is now just hitting alternative radio, the rock radio stations. And it's like, it just interrupted basically SoundCloud. And SoundCloud had interrupted, I don't even remember when exactly college radio got interrupted, but it happened a while ago. I'm going to say late 90s, right? When Napster started on the scene. But that's basically the layout of the general user on TikTok, how to control all the stuff. One more general page thing. Let's look at the profile really quick. On your profile, you have your name, number of videos that you've created, your followers you're following, and your likes count. Your edit buttons. This button is super great. This is your favorites button. So all that stuff that you favorited, it's actually in multiple tabs up here at the top for you. So if it's videos, if it's sounds, whatever it is, if it's hashtags, you have a little bit of space for your bio, tiny space for bio. Now this here, there's another tab here. So this is your grid. And then here, that heart, it gives you a little track record of like, oh, I really enjoyed that thing. I forgot to add it to my favorites. You can probably find it in your likes tab. Other things, once you get videos up there, there's like your grid normal, but this one here, so that's your drafts folder. And you can see there's a bunch of different videos in there. And like they kind of add up, and every so often you'll be like, I'm gonna go through there and maybe fix something or whatever. Anyway, that's your basic bio page. And you can also see the number of plays. There's a little thing that shows you how many plays each one has had. So you can get a sense of like, what's the most popular. And you get to see that for other people as well. Now it's a new feature. You can go to their profile and see which is their most popular videos and just look at those ones, which is kind of a cool feature. Now your inbox, you lucky kids. You're so lucky. This thing right here, this thing at the top, there's a tab, this inbox tab. We didn't have that 6 months ago. You had to like, if you were really producing on TikTok 6 months ago, there was no way to separate your likes from your comments. It was really hard to maintain your engagement. And now you just click the little drop down menu and you can go straight to your comments. You can go straight to your ads. You can go, you kids are so lucky. Anyway, I'm going to stop being an old man complaining. And yeah, so I guess that's the general page. Now we get to recording. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Download the app, follow all the things that explore or pops up in your feed, search cars, wine, sneakers, lawyers, search your thing, follow 53 accounts that show up in those hashtags of your thing, open the app every day for 10 minutes, consume, then talk.
Okay, the next note says recording, so let's go. Center button at the bottom is the plus sign, means add to me. TikTok says, feed me. So here we go. Here I am. Hi. Here is your basic record screen. Now, across the side here, we have your flip the camera back and forth, right? So we'll boop, boop. The next button is the speed button. You click that here at the bottom. You can change it from double speed to triple speed to half speed. The reason that you want to do that is when you're first learning how to lip sync these scenes, doing it at double or even triple speed, it helps you lip sync because you can start to hear the line at the very beginning and then you remember the line. So while you're learning your lines, double and triple speed can be super helpful. Button. Brings it, takes it away. Okay, the next one is the beauty filter. And I don't really like the beauty filter. I think I'm beautiful. I think that's just fine. But the beauty filter will default to on. So if you don't want the beauty filter on, make sure you turn it off because you know what? I want to see your real face. There's more filters. Whoop, filters. Other ways to change. So the filter button up here is one way, but you can also just do this and it's changing the filter. This is another way to change the filter. You just do this. And that changes through all the available filters. You just scan through and then you don't even really have to play with that. So you can just sort of see what it looks like as you're going by doing that side to side swipe in the record screen. Oh, the timer. Two things on the timer. Timer starts, you get this. You get to choose between a 3-second timer or a 10-second timer. And when you do the timer, it not only does it give you the time, but it also gives you a boop, 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 kind of like a television studio, so you can hear it. You don't have to see the thing. So if you're off camera, you can know where your count is supposed to be. You know when to walk in on scene. So let's look at this real quick. And then you start recording. So we're recording, boop. All right. We have a track. Now you hit your little arrow to check it. So let's check it. If you would like to add an effect, which effects are different than filters. Filters are a slight change. A little tone, a little noise, whatever. Effects, you can see it down there in the bottom corner. Effects going to give you a little alien hat right now. So let's give myself a little alien hat, right? Alien hats are trending. In the effects tab, you will see the trending, new, and what does that one say? Ooh, interactive. I don't know what that. World, animal, there's a whole bunch of different filters. We're gonna go with interactive. I'm gonna give myself laser eyes. Your effect, hi, monsieur. Laser eyes. All right, you can favorite this. You can look at your favorite effects. Favorite that effect. I want laser eyes forever. And then now that we have that, we can just poke the screen to make that go down and record. Hello, hello, ha, 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 ha. And stop. And now let's check that out. And then you start recording. You want to, like the bigger effects, you want to add them while you're recording. There's some effects that you can add in your edit station while you're editing after the fact. Now we have a couple clips. We can go into our check. It's so noisy. I can't turn off the audio while I'm in there. So while you're in there, you can change the filter after the fact. You can mix your audio from the stuff you give your phone with the audio from what you get from TikTok. So you can bring up the volume and bring down the volume. And a lot of people will do that for videos where really the song has nothing. It's just to get on that page with the popular content about that song. So a popular song, say, you know, Lil Nas X Panini right now, you can just pick that song and then bring the volume almost to nothing and then do your little monologue into the camera. And then you kind of get a little boost from the music without actually using it in any kind of meaningful way. So now we got to pick some hashtags. You push the hashtag button. Boom, right there, hashtags. And then you will get a list of the trending hashtags. Now, the thing about the trending hashtags is that's where the attention is. You want to use them because you'll get attention where the attention is. Bots are also using that information. So if you're going to use the trending tags, you can't get mad at the bots who are doing it too. When the bot says cool dance moves about your monologue about fashion, say thanks for the engagement, bot. If you would like real content about your real life and real engagement from real fans, maybe don't use the trending tags. It's up to you. It's what you want to do. Using those hashtags gets you attention. It's easy attention, and there are other people doing the same thing. Take a moment and figure out what would be a little bit harder way of being more authentic to yourself, more vulnerable, and getting a little less attention. The ROI is a lot slower. Depends on what you want to be playing. So in the trending, I play the trending game because I'm playing both games. I'm playing all kinds of games. I'm not judging the trend game. It's a game. We're doing all of this for attention. So let's do jokes on you. That's a trending tag. That's beautiful. Learning stuff. Please be gentle. I'm going to put this live. Whatever. It's going to be live. You're going to see it later. Your caption is so small. Some of the comments, if you're using an iPhone in the comments section, you only get 50 characters. Learn how to use the emojis. Learn how to say more with less. Okay, here's where some information is. You can choose public. You can choose whether or not to have the comments on. You can choose whether or not to have duets on. You can have it auto-save to your library. Turning comments off is something you can do after the fact. And if you have something that unbeknownst to you, you didn't even realize it was going to get political, but somehow it gets political and you're like, wow, this comment section is out of control, you can totally turn that off. I have had a couple controversial posts and I did not know I could turn that off. Dear listeners, you can turn that off. Duet and react. Sometimes this accidentally gets turned off. I have actually gone to a video to do a duet and had it been turned off, and we'll message the creator really quick and have them turn it back on. And I always love to save it to the album. Down here at the bottom, it will also auto load to a bunch of different platforms. I usually have it auto loading to Instagram, but just to the Instagram stories. I don't personally like that Instagram seems to feel like TikTok again. It's what it feels like. I end up seeing everything twice in the Instagram feed, and that only happened for a little while. I think Instagram figured that out and was like, no, nobody wants to do this. They went to TikTok if that's what they wanted to see. Back to TikTok. We've posted a video, and now we get to look at the analytics. So jealous of you kids. This analytics thing, I swear to God, only came out a few weeks ago. It's awesome. So you go into your profile. Boop. So now that we have this, we have our video, it's right there. It's probably going to perform very badly because it's whatever. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to care except for us. It's just between me and you, okay? All right, now, in your me, whoop, but at the top, the little dot, boop, hit it. Analytics, boom. I only opened this 3 days ago. I just found it while I was doing research to do this thing, and you can look at so much information. So here's your overview, your views, your little graph to show you if it's going up and down, and there's tabs. You can look at your content, Now, these are the only videos. I've just been putting out videos so that I have anything to look at to show you what the analytics looks like. And I can see my trending videos. Look at that. I can see all the stuff that's still out and performing well. This is one of my favorites. I love that. And so your older stuff that you load before you get the analytics tab open doesn't have a lot of information. However, your new stuff, after about 24 hours, you can start to see all sorts of stuff. And now it starts to really feel like YouTube, because you can see things like average watch time. You can see things like total views, total play time. You can see whether or not it made it to the For You page. Right here, it says how much traffic is coming from the For You page. Now, all of a sudden, you don't have any guessing about whether or not you're on the For You page. Like, there's a point where you're like getting so many likes on a video that it's like, oh, obviously somewhere something's happening. But to be able to actually see it is fascinating. And to realize, you know, we maybe don't even realize how often we really get to the For You page, because it looks like all of my videos do. I still haven't had 24 hours on these other ones. It's going to post tonight. But like stuff that was just, I didn't even think about it. God, I wish I could look at this older data, but it doesn't matter. I can look at data now. You can go to TikTok right now and get data, real data about your content. And I'm so pumped for you kids right now. Oh, this is going to be awesome. Oh, you can look at your followers too. The gender spread on your followers. I wish they had some kind of better non-binary ticker that I could check out. So there's your overview of the analytics. Now I want to talk about a little bit more on picking your sounds. If you go up to new releases is also really nice. They're more likely to give you 30 seconds instead of 15. So you get 30 seconds of time to record your video under new releases. It's also really good to hit new releases because it may or may not be trending later. And then you're going to get a lot more action, because if you've been putting likes on one of those videos, you're more likely to get up higher on that trending page for that sound once it becomes popular later. Also, for doing your scenes, when you're cutting just that chunk of whatever you want your scene to be, like, you can see where the vibration is for the line. So when you're cutting back and forth to do your scene, the timer is your best friend. The speed is your best friend when you're getting started producing these videos. Also, just play with the effects. All the time you're gonna go to the discovery page. Let's do that now. At the discovery page, you're gonna see they always wanna show off their new, they're gonna show off their new filter, right? The nose painting filter was the filter that they were featuring last night. Tonight they're doing this mosaic zoom thing. The other thing that they do a lot of is there's going to be a spicy snap. Like right now there's Spicy Snap. That's a literal ad for Wendy's. If you sign on today, the first ad you see might be for that Spicy Snap thing. And they will, if you want to participate in Wendy's, maybe you like crunchy chicken stuff, you can totally participate with Wendy's. A few days ago, Walmart did their own hashtag for like shuffle savings, whatever, you know. You can participate in those things, and a lot of professionals do. Look up the lawyer on this platform, look up the dentist on this platform. That's an orthodontist and a lawyer, a literal orthodontist and a lawyer that just participate in a lot of these like super trendy tags. And they're getting a lot of attention, and they're just playing along with the kids. I don't think they're gonna monetize this audience. They're just using it right now. I think the dentist actually is, because like the target demographic on TikTok is for sure the kids that need braces. So he's got a clever in right there, honestly. This is all pretty cool, you know? It's all available right there on the Discover page for you if you want to play the trending game. Not everybody does, and that's fine too. But it's all right here, right on your Discover page. And there's searches right there as well. So if you want to search certain hashtags or what have you, you can do all of that there on your Discover page. And yeah, that's basically everything I can think of for TikTok. And I'm so grateful for you for paying attention. And next week we will be back with our regularly scheduled stuff. Thank you so much for listening and for giving us any of your attention. You can find out more information at KindessEcon.com. You can contact me, Bonus Parent Baba, all over social media. Please take excellent care of yourself and the people and the world around you. And I'll see you in the future.